Welcome everyone to the audio video journal number 4, week 8. My name is Stephen York, Cal Baptist University, DPA 740, Collaborations and Network Governance. We're under the tutelage of Dr. Linda Marie Sundstrom. When discussing managing collaborations, we want to lean on the pillars of public administration, which include the politics and administrative dichotomy, accountability, legitimacy, equity, and fairness, representation, responsibility, efficiency, and effectiveness. But the two that stand out for me would be legitimacy. That means there's transparency in the collaborations. All stakeholders are aware and knowledgeable of all the happenings going on within the collaboration, and the resources and the fundings that go into um, these projects or collaboration need to be definitely effective and efficient. The money that is spent has to be accounted for in a way that we get results, that we get our biggest bang for the buck with the least amount of resources utilized. Um, Collaborations, especially when dealing with nonprofit and government, the resources are very limited and far and few in between. So the resources that we are able to secure need to be utilized correctly. Why should we collaborate? Well, recently I had the opportunity to analyze a collaborative effort between the Riverside County Department of Mental Health and the Du Bois Institute, a nonprofit in the city of Riverside, um, as they were able to provide mental health services to underserved communities. Um, Without the funding from the county, uh, there's no way that the nonprofit will be able to provide those services as effectively and efficiently in a way that they were able to. With that brought oversight and monitoring. The contract was renewable at the end of each fiscal year, and the only way that uh, funding would be replenished is if the nonprofit was meeting its targets and its goals in a way that was suitable for the department. Um, the public benefit was huge. People who normally would not have engaged or had the opportunity to receive mental health services were able to access them, and the benefits will be seen for generations to come. Through this collaboration, the resources and funding were secured by the Du Bois Institute from the Riverside County Department of Mental Health. It was their only revenue, so they were tasked with maximizing this to the fullest. The services had to be efficient, as we discussed, um, getting the most bang for the dollar. We do that in a way so that we have an effective outcome, which is that the people are receiving those services. And it was also sustainable. The collaboration was able to carry on for 3 consecutive years based on the results that they were able to show. With the funding and the securing of the resources comes oversight and monitoring. When you're dealing with government entities or anyone of that, in fact, that's providing those resources, there has to be rules, compliance, and standards, um, guidelines that need to be met, checkpoints that need to be observed. This lends to the legitimacy of the collaboration. Without it, there's too much area for abuse and actually fraudulent behaviors on behalf of the organizations who are providing those services, and the people aren't able to get the services that were initially intended to be addressed. Lastly, when we ask the question, why should we collaborate? It's to the public's benefit. It could be a community garden that grows vegetables to feed the homeless. It could be assembling volunteers in a shelter um, to feed the poor, or maybe in a crisis situation. Um, Also, mentoring our young people in after school programs. It doesn't take much, but the communities are the winners when the collaborative efforts are operating correctly. When entering into collaborations, we as public administrators cannot shy away from our faith and the strength that we gain from looking to God and keeping God first when engaging in these collaborations and looking to Him for answers. Ronald Reagan famously quoted that all the answers to our problems can be found in the pages of one book, and that book is the Bible. Proverbs 11:14 reads, "Where there is no guidance, the people fall, but in abundance of counselors, there is victory." This means that we have to seek God for our answers. When we keep God first, nothing else against us can defeat us.